Hello guys and welcome to Coding with Tom. So today I want to talk about 4 important tips that I find fundamental for a self-taught developer to withstand the first times at the company. This video doesn't focus too much on the technical side of the role, but instead a bit more on the personality side. And although I speak mostly to the self-taught developers, this video is actually for everybody. I chose to speak closely to the self-taught developers out there, well, because I'm one of them. So let's get started. Tip number 1. Learn to say I don't know. No one really expects you to know everything, but they do expect you to tell them when you don't, since it's actually the only way for them to understand what kind of knowledge you do have. Saying I don't know shows that you're comfortable with your own knowledge and that you understand your weaknesses. It allows your mentors, colleagues, and peers to adjust their speech, and if you had a "but can you show me?" to it, they will probably guide you and show you the resources so you can change the "I don't know" to "yeah, of course I know." There are really no benefits in pretending that you know about the subject if you have no idea what people are talking about. You might get up a slight ego boost, but you'll mostly end up without answers. Tip number 2. Have the ability and will to learn. The ability to learn. If you still haven't figured out what's your best study or learning method, work some late hours trying to figure it out so you can ask for resources similar to your preferred way. I'm not saying you should keep working for your job once the job hours end, but you should keep studying like you always did, since you're going to need to learn new things for your job and the working hours probably just won't be enough for it. So, if video tutorials aren't for you, ask for books. If books aren't for you, check the documentation. If the documentation isn't really cutting it, create a mini project that tackles whatever you're learning. The will to learn. Of course, resources and the perfect way of studying mean nothing if there's no will of tackling your problems. Getting your first job is really not the end goal. You have to keep studying to improve yourself and evolve with the industry. You might get away a couple of times by reading an answer on Stack Overflow, but you do want to keep learning and understanding what you're working with. I believe that's really the only way of actually doing some progress. Most importantly, do it for yourself. Not for the job, but for yourself, since you probably already sacrificed a lot to be here. So, why stop now? Tip number 3. Keep teaching yourself. Be the first one to know your own weaknesses. If you don't stay hungry, you'll never know what you're missing out on in your knowledge and curriculum. Look for new stuff, have a reading list, take notes of everything that seems new, but of course relatable to your area, and prioritize what seems to give you the edge on the field. If you're working with React and your knowledge on use effects seems a bit wonky, don't wait for others to point it out. Just improve yourself and stay hungry. Tip number 4. Don't be a lone wolf. Getting a job is scary, and if you're an introvert, you have to deal with a lot more stuff, but no one is really against you. Your mentors, colleagues, and peers want to hang out with you and help you. If they didn't, they probably wouldn't have hired you. I'm not saying that you should speak to them 24/7 and expose yourself completely, but allow yourself to open up and make the working environment more friendly towards you. It will make things a lot easier when you'll eventually will have to ask for help, and it's just better to get to know people. As self-taught, we're used to work alone, but this time we can share a joke from time to time and actually connect with someone that also works on the area, and we have the opportunity to share knowledge, ideas, and just get better together. And that's pretty much it. There are days where I have to remind myself of these tips so I can get up in the morning, get up with the day, and I find them essential. There's a lot more topics that I could talk about, but being hungry, staying humble, and being a people person take the cake since they will help you level up your knowledge and increase your connection. If you would want to shorten this video to a single phrase, it will be this one. Having technical skills is important, but willing to do, try, and fail is critical. I hope this video helped some of you guys, and if you have any doubts, just contact me on Twitter, Dev.to, or just here in the comments. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Stay coding.